The other day we had a bright idea. Some might say a colorful idea. So we went out and tested 13 different bulbs. And just stay tuned because you're going to be shocked to find out which one was the best. Comparing smart bulbs can certainly be very subjective, and who's to say what looks better? But we did get a spectrometer, and we figured out what the heck we're doing with it. So we measured the score of each bulb. Then we looked at the brightness for both the cool white as well as the warm white light, and then ranked them. And then we looked at each color and ranked the brightness there as well, and overall saturation levels. And we're going to go through and look at color rankings, or we looked at the apps, the price, and how they're connected. Stay tuned to the end. We're going to let you know which ones our favorites were. A lot of people are working from home nowadays, and depending where your new makeshift office is in the house, you may not have a lot of natural light. You've probably noticed that some bulbs make you look like you're sick on camera. You can actually measure the quality of a daylight bulb by looking at what's called the CRI score. Ideally, a bulb should have a CRI score of at least 90. That way you're getting a good, accurate color. Now, I own a Z-Way hub, so I love the fact that the Innovelli Illumine bulb was top in this category. But for those of you who don't have a hub, you'll be happy to know that Govee and Wyze perform really well. The strangest thing we found, though, was the most expensive bulb, the Philips Hue 100-watt version, was the third worst, and it was barely better than the Singlet and the Lumiman bulbs, which are much less expensive. One of my favorite things about smart bulbs is the ability to transition from cool white to warm white light, depending on what you're doing. This can help us keep us in balance with our circadian rhythm, stay focused while working, and wind down at the end of the night. We looked at overall brightness and color temperature for each bulb set to the maximum cool bright as well as the lowest warm light setting. For cool lights, LifeX and Philips Hue perform very well, but of course you pay a premium for that. Interestingly, the Innovelli bulb that I was so excited about was one of the worst in this category. It was just ahead of Singlet with a significant amount of brightness reduction. When shifting over to the warm light, the Innovelli bulb actually stood out again as the top performer. This time, Yeelight and Whiz bulbs' brightness was actually reduced by 75%, so that wasn't very good. When we look at the overall brightness of each bulb at the optimal settings, here's how they stacked up. But of course, the big benefit of purchasing a smart bulb is that it can change colors. To make a fair comparison, I set each bulb up in its native app, and then I compared it with the Amazon Alexa app as a test group. I ran through each color just to see how they did. I love the bright red that Wyze, LifeX, and Abode put out, but was rather let down by Whiz, Lumiman, and Singlet. Now, blue is a challenging color, and no matter which bulb you choose, you'll see a big reduction in brightness. Yeelight was the star here, but Lumiman and Singlet had us singing the blues. Most bulbs are able to handle green very well, with LifeX and Abode really standing out above the crowd. Philips Hue is known for having very nice deep purples, but we found both LifeX and Wyze outperform all three Philips Hue bulbs. Now, after testing all 16 million colors, just those 4 colors, we ranked them in the order you see on the screen. But wait, there's more. We need to talk about how the bulbs connect and how they're controlled. So a lot of the bulbs that we tested connect via Wi-Fi. And so if you just have a few bulbs, that's not a big deal. But if you're adding, 10s, 20, 30 bulbs, that can really add up. And if your network isn't able to handle that, you're going to have bulbs drop off. These bulbs here connect via Wi-Fi, whereas on the other side, these ones connect with a hub. So the Innovelli bulb is actually a Z-Wave bulb. Singlet is Zigbee. It can connect to its own hub or any other Zigbee hub. And then Philips Hue, we've got the Philips Hue bridge there. So those would be an additional cost, but I do find that the connectivity is a lot better. They do use less power. So if you're going to do a lot of bulbs, you may want to consider looking at one of those options.
So some of the bulbs here use their own apps, like the Wise, the Lifix, the Abode, the Govee, the Philips Hue, the Casa, and the Wiz. All utilize their own app control for changing lights, colors, brightness, so on and so forth. So bulbs like the Innovelli, the Singlet, and the Philips Hue do utilize the hubs to be able to control the bulb features.
So after all that testing, we think that the best Wi-Fi connected bulb is actually going to be Wise. It's very affordable, scored very well with our brightness tests across both cool white and warm white and all the different colors. So this is a really good value right here. Next up, we've got our connected bulbs. So we've got Philips Hue and Innovelli. If you've got Z-Wave, I love this Z-Wave bulb. It's probably one of the best that we've tested. Great color again, and if you're going to do a Philips Hue bulb, pay a little extra to get the newest version. It's a little bit brighter, a little bit better color. Otherwise, the 1100 lumen version, the 75 watt, performed pretty well. But these bulbs are significantly more money than Wise, which overall, Wise is our favorite smart bulb. Way to go, Wise. If you want to control the Wise bulb, you can also get one of their switches, and their switch can control the bulb right from the wall by giving it constant power, and then you can set different scenes and stuff. So really cool. We love what they're doing over at Wise. Keep up the great work, guys, and until next time, take care.